What is up, guys? Welcome in another video. In this one we're gonna check the game between cYpheR and Sirius on 250 FPS League. In the beginning I would want to say that we're gonna watch the first map, and the whole game was won by cYpheR 2-1. We're not gonna watch the other maps because in this particular video I want to focus only on the potential of Sirius in Quake Live. We know Sirius basically started competing and his whole career in Quake Champions. He never was a pro in Quake Live, so it's a new game for him. Obviously, I know when he was a kid, he probably played tons of Quake Live and watched tons of matches. Maybe focused a little bit more on Clan Arena and TDM, all those modes. That's where his aim is coming from, instead of playing Jules. But in this one, I want to focus on his good sides. I don't want to see him losing. I want to check like what he's capable of against the best players in the world at this moment in Quake Live, so against cYpheR, Agent, Ash, and all those guys. And I want to see how he's gonna utilize his great aim and how he's gonna try to take advantage of that. So let's check this one. Agent is asking if cYpheR gonna win. I'm also curious. Alright, that's a very weird situation because I think it shows like a little bit lack of experience from Sirius, because back in the days when we had spawns like this, where somebody spawned on LG on Mega side and the other guy was spawning on Grenade Launcher, what should you do is Sirius should just stay on top and try to check if the Mega was picked up and if it's safe to go, and try to go get the Mega health while cYpheR is taking the red armor. Instead, he tries to drop down to pick up the rail and yellow armor, and maybe this is the one case that for Sirius is gonna work out because he's a great aimer. So maybe if he makes it on time to the top and tries to pick the Mega and hits, like, for example, 2 rails, and cYpheR cannot really hit him back because he doesn't have any long range weapon, then it will pay off for him. So let's see what's gonna happen. But I don't think he's making it on time. Very smart move from cYpheR. He knows that the only way for Sirius to try to make this situation flip around and turn into his advantage is picking up this Mega with rail. So instead taking the TP, he goes through the stairs. He tries to spot him there. He doesn't see him, so he knows that this is very easy to pick up. It's free yellow. He takes TP. He even takes shards and spots Sirius on top, and Sirius probably thinks he also not gonna have time on Mega. I think Sirius probably thinks cYpheR already picked up the Mega and he was going from the shards and trying to attack him, so he even gonna back off and stay there on top, I think. Instead, cYpheR is taking Mega now. It's huge difference between the armors, between the red armor and Mega health. If Sirius doesn't have timing on this Mega health, it's very problematic for him. Yeah, Agent is also shocked. It's like from the spawn cYpheR is 200, and yeah, it's extremely huge stack. Okay. That's very bad decision from cYpheR, because cYpheR knows that Sirius has a rail, and he knows Sirius is on top because he just spotted him and he doesn't see him here down below on the red. So he knows that Sirius keep hanging around on the top with the railgun. Instead of going to the TP without having any weapon, any railgun or like whatever, the only long range weapon he has is plasma gun and machine gun, which is not gonna deal a lot of damage. He goes to TP, he opens himself up, and he lets Sirius hit the railgun, instead of just standing on bottom and trying to pick up the heavy, getting the green armor, getting himself a railgun, going back to the top, and trying to rotate to the Mega side of the map. And yeah, this is what happens. He doesn't deal a lot of damage. Sirius keeps hitting the rail. cYpheR is lucky he didn't back off. Very good play by Sirius here. He understands that he is in such disadvantage in terms of stack that he really has to hit at least 2-3 rails before cYpheR even makes it to the mega room. So cyrus is hitting 2 rails now. He probably thinks that mega is spawning soon because it's already 41 seconds, right? So instead of, for example, going here and trying to hit one more rail here, for example, which will be super easy, and that will stop cYpheR and allow cyrus to go back through the shards and pick up the mega. Instead of that, because he doesn't have timing, I'm assuming, he's already on mega waiting. cYpheR knows he has a lot of time, so if cyrus is gonna spot cYpheR here, cYpheR probably gonna be able to bully cyrus away from that mega, because cyrus will realize that mega is not spawning, he's late, so he will have to give it up. Yep, cyrus was hanging around here, listening to the map. He knows mega. At least he knows now that the mega is delayed. In perfect world, he would try to pick and try to hit the rail at least. Instead, he fires 2 rockets, deals not so much damage. But the good thing is, he's on the red side of the map, so he can easily get this red. cYpheR's not really rushing for that. Yep. And he doesn't hit enough rockets, like good job by cyrus backing off and not getting a lot of damage. Okay, good exchange for both. cYpheR's gonna grab the yellow, both gonna have like similar stack. First is like red, and I don't think cYpheR is making it on time. And cYpheR has a chance to get the mega. Yep, cYpheR is giving it away. He doesn't deal any damage, which is very problematic for him because cYpheR is 200-200, cYpheR is on a low stack compared to him. The good thing though is that he's taking a good position, so even if cYpheR tries to rush through the granite launcher, he's gonna be stopped by the rockets of cYpheR. Even if cYpheR doesn't hang out on top, if he has LG, he can drop down and stop cYpheR from moving in. So going through here will be very dangerous for cYpheR to grab the red because cYpheR can like control it from bottom. Okay, cYpheR heard him. And that's a bad move from cYpheR. He shouldn't be taking this TP knowing that red is up. He should, I think, try to at least like predict where is cYpheR coming from. Although cYpheR played really good because he was quiet all this time, so cYpheR didn't know. But this puts cYpheR in very like dangerous situation, and I think that's gonna be a kill. Yeah, okay, very late switch to LG, like not enough stack, and it results, yep, in the kills for cYpheR. Okay, mega is in 10 seconds. I don't think cYpheR can challenge it. He has to give it back. Okay, that's a good rail. And as I told you, as I mentioned in the previous video, you guys should never let your opponent go out from such situations. cYpheR only has a rocket. cYpheR has to try to make a kill. Unfortunately, he didn't pick up the shaft on his way to the mega. But here, okay, he goes for shaft now. What? Okay, so cYpheR made a mistake here because he left the mega. So look, instead of, for example, hitting the rail here, okay, hit a little bit rocket here, he should try to jump over to this ledge, hit another rocket or the rail on the exit of cYpheR, and then try to drop down and eventually finish in the frag with plasma gun. He didn't do that. He went here to maybe cut him off. Instead of cutting him off there, like on the red, he went for LG, and now instead of going for mega, he still went here. He couldn't like already stop here because he was in the middle of the movement, but he basically gave away mega. And Agent is also shocked that the mega is still like there, and he gave it away. Yeah, cYpheR is a little bit lost now. 100 to 200, stacks are very similar, so it's very dangerous for both players. Here we can see cYpheR predicted really good where cYpheR is going. So he shot the force rocket, he spammed the force rocket. I think he will be right on time with reload with rocket, and he knows where cYpheR is. So potentially this situation is very good for cYpheR, and he might be the first guy hitting the full rocket. Both missed and both hit. So the stacks are similar still. Okay, cYpheR is moving in. What I really like about cYpheR is that he brought this habit with himself from Quake Champions, that he doesn't really feed a lot. So you won't see him like losing a lot of frags. So even if he does like mistakes with timings, etc., right? He still doesn't feed and doesn't lose frags. It means that in case of player like cYpheR who has really good like aim like LG and Rail, even though he's gonna be making mistakes, but he keeps the game low, like 1-0 score, he still has a chance to like turn the situation around, because like any exchange, even if he hits 2 rails, 3 rails, it can flip the situation and give control to cYpheR. So as soon as he keeps alive, he has weapons and he's hitting important situation, his shots, it's still decent for him and it's still good for him. So that's what I really like to see. Here, maybe he could try to stop cYpheR a little bit more here and get the position on red. Instead he backs off, but cYpheR gives, he gives the red anyway. So cYpheR is in really good position. Mega is up now. cYpheR is, I think he knows cYpheR is on rail side of the map, so he's just holding him there, so he knew that the access to the Mega is very safe. Okay, very good rail from cYpheR, this is what I'm talking about. This is like super important. Still not enough to break the control. Yep. And here, after this first rail, I really like that he kinda tried to take the fight here and hit another rail. I would really like from him to try to pick from this corner and rail cYpheR, or at least spam one of those corners and get some damage and have time to back off for red. Even if he was like, for example, afraid to pick a railgun fight here, he could just pick like, shoot the rocket and run away. He knows cYpheR cannot really go through top, so the best way for him, okay, that's a huge mistake, because look, so he knows red is in 5 seconds. Even though he didn't stop him here with rail or anything, he knows cYpheR doesn't have time to go from grenade launcher to red, or from like middle to red, because cYpheR will spot him. As soon as he doesn't see him here, he has to drop down and block this choke point, because the only way for cYpheR to go for red is here, and it's a very dangerous place for cYpheR to go, because he will get a lot of damage. And cYpheR knows it, see? It's 2 seconds until red, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna rush it, he probably gonna be there spamming, etc. He just picks, he sees the red, he hears him above, he moves in, and cYpheR is not there. Okay, so yeah, cYpheR is like giving like a little bit too much, like to cYpheR, but as I said, like in case of cYpheR, if he keeps hitting a lot of rails, this can keep him in the game. Yeah, like Agent also says that he just like gave away red and Mega just like that. Okay, yep, good. As I said, cYpheR did like really good stuff here, because he knows that red is coming up very fast after the Mega. So here, even though he had really 2 good rockets, he could, for example, not jump for the Mega, but go for frag and try to kill him. Instead, he knows that if he keeps like chasing cYpheR is just gonna run away towards the side of the red armor map and probably steal the red. In this case, he just like gets into the mega, gets out, and tries to get the red. Yep. And Sears also give away this one. So it's very difficult because cYpheR is 200, 200. Sears doesn't have enough stack. And like, if you keep like giving away too much to your opponent, it can backfire later in the game. Because in case of any regular player, you cannot really like compete all the time aim-wise without the stack. So if you keep doing that, being like a regular player, you eventually gonna like give away like a lot of frags because cYpheR gonna break you at some point. Sears is hidden away. I'm not sure if he has timings. It's a very good opportunity coming up for him because the mega and red are on the same time. Okay. Yeah. Agent's also asking where is Sirius. Yeah, he just picked up the yellow on the mega side of the map. It's 2 seconds until the mega. I think Sirius has a time on it. I hope. Let's see what he's gonna do. Okay. Okay, I like this rocket jump, even though he had a lot of damage taken there because he got pinned. And it's very like good opportunity for cYpheR here. Okay, that's a very big mistake, I think, because in this spot, cYpheR is taking a lot of damage. Like, Sears is gonna hit like everything here. Like, okay, see? And it resulted in a frag, so that's a huge mistake by cYpheR, I think. After this, he should just stay here, try to plasma here a little bit. Like, Sears can only go there or drop down to like exit this space. So he eventually gonna pick and let cYpheR hit himself. So cYpheR should just try to wait and rail him and then go for the red. And look, he's 160 to 200. Look at how fast his stack will be melted away in this spot. See? He even loses a frag. And this is what I was talking about. So look, Sears made like multiple mistakes with timings, or maybe not timings, but not being a little bit afraid to like take those items and giving away all of them to cYpheR. And he managed to flip the situation around, and he managed to kill the cYpheR without having stacks because he waited it out, and it's 1-1. And because he didn't feed enough frags, so it's not like 4-1, he's like on the even game, the game only starting, and he has like extremely good access to like red now, because cYpheR probably gonna spawn around rail, and he cannot really contest with rail only. He will be afraid. So it means red is like open for, yeah, shaft is 51%. Yeah, cYpheR is not contesting this red. cYpheR has to like rotate to the other side of the map. Maybe try to hit a rail here, which he misses. He has to let him go. Yeah. And Sirius now is in advantage. And what I want to see from Sirius now is like when we're gonna be speaking about the weakest points and what he can improve. I think in such situation when he played really steady and really slow, when he has opportunity and he has control, I think now is the time if he wants to be really, really good and top in Quake Life. Now he has to speed it up. He cannot, I don't see him losing this mega. He cannot let cYpheR grab this mega, in my opinion. At least try to contest it a little bit. Yeah, he's again Sirius is giving away the mega, it seems. No, okay, yeah, he's gonna fight for it. Oh my god, this situation, if cYpheR gonna jump on it, he's even lower stack now. Because he's gonna be 200 to 200 to 113. He was 160 to 200 like last time. He doesn't even make the jump. Okay. Yeah, same thing. And Sirius has now like opportunity window to go grab the red, and especially if he spots cYpheR here, he cannot let him go. He has to make a frag here. Okay, I don't like that Sirius played so far. Maybe he didn't have enough like timing for this red, and he was afraid of the shotgun. cYpheR, on the other hand, this is what I was also repeating. Like when I think the most important timings are the timings when you are out of control, because it lets you spawn like this, and you know exact timing, steal the red, and still be in the game. Imagine cYpheR didn't have this timing, and he didn't know, he would probably don't drop down from the shotgun, he would stay on shotgun, and let Sirius kill himself because he doesn't have exit, and grab the red for Sirius, and that will be already like devastating for cYpheR. In this case, he stays in the game, even though Sirius hits a lot, and I think he should try to maybe rush this room and finish it with LG, or at least try to cut him off somehow. He knows cYpheR is low, he probably has to try to make a frag. Okay, very good rocket, he has to run. Yep, very good, finally. The right decision, very good decision from Sirius. Also, another example comes to my mind here, like, because Sirius is taking a lot of time before his shots, like in such situation, I think it's very beneficial for him, because he hit the first rail. If he takes a lot of time here, and he aims well, and if he hits this crucial rail, then it's 4-1, and that's probably the game for Sirius. It will be really hard for cYpheR to come back. Okay, he misses this one. Luckily for cYpheR, and cYpheR has a Mega. Yeah, Agent also saying that cYpheR is really big trouble and it could have been another frag, and I think so too. cYpheR has to grab the shards, get the yellow. He doesn't have a rail. Very good punishment. 2 rails. I think he has to go back. He has to go back and make this frag after 2. Yep, very good decision from Sirius. Even though he wasn't so stacked, he had only like 22 HP left after the fight. He still makes a good decision. He has to rush for the red now. I like that he's going from top this time because he has a time. It's not like 4 seconds left, it's 8 seconds. So in case cYpheR spawns on shotgun or plasma and blocks this choke point, it allows Sirius to go here. Even if Sirius is scared to drop down, now it's a proper time. He's winning 4-1. Now he can stay on top and give this red away if he wants, but he has to hit the rail. Okay. Decent. Yep, he's hitting a lot. He might miscalculate cYpheR armor here, and I think many people did back in the days. Rafa was really good at it, knowing when he hit the rail, whether it was before picking up the item or after picking up the item of his enemy, so he exactly could calculate the health. I think Sirius might be a little bit mistaken here because he feels like he hit 2 rails, but he actually hit them before cYpheR getting the armor. cYpheR has to get the... Yeah, he cannot contest the Mega, so he has to get his like health up to the 100 and then get really good read on Sirius and position on red, and maybe that will allow him to... Yeah, but there is not enough health on that side of the map now. If Sirius managed to like get into the red room very fast, he's not gonna lose this red. Yeah, he has to go in. Yeah, cYpheR doesn't have weapons. Good rail from cYpheR, good 2 rails, still not enough, still very low on stack. Yellow only coming up in 10 seconds, Mega and red are on the same time, so now is the time for cYpheR to play like Sirius played, so cYpheR needs to slow down the game and wait for one of the armors and pick the other one. I really like that Sirius trying to push him. He knows it's not enough time to like just stay like far away and let cYpheR have full control. So at least in this case where Sirius has control, I really like that he makes some pushes. The worst he could do is as if he would play like he did when he didn't have control. So play very defensive, giving away a lot of items. That will be catastrophic for him. But in this case, he still managed to push a little bit. Even if he takes more damage and hits a rail, it's still good. Yep, he keeps pushing, getting a little bit too much damage here. So now, but it's still fine because like he can pick like one of the bigger items. And if he goes like this side, the yellow is here. Yeah, he got the yellow. cYpheR is in extremely bad position right now. Okay. What? What happened here? Did he run out of the ammo? Okay. No. Oh, he had a shotgun. Okay, so look. He hit the full shotgun here. cYpheR is like very low. If Sirius fires now, or now, or now, cYpheR will be dead. But instead, he like keeps his shot so long that cYpheR has time to reload rail and kill him. Yeah, Agent is also shocked. Anyway, it's still good for Sirius. He spawned on the red. He's gonna take another yellow. And now, he's gonna be 100 to 150. cYpheR knows Sirius doesn't have shotgun. So he has LG. I'm not sure if cYpheR could maybe try to drop down and bully Sirius away. A, bully Sirius away from the rail. B, if Sirius decides to go for rail, try to deal a lot of damage there. I think going out here is very bad for cYpheR because Sirius is already on 150 armor and rail. He cannot block Sirius for another 26 seconds until the next Mega in this spot. Sirius eventually gonna get out. If Mega was in 2 seconds, I understand this move. Otherwise, I would try as cYpheR to rush behind him here with LG. Even if cYpheR loses this fight to machine gun, he's still gonna neutralize so much health and armor from Sirius and will have like 30 seconds to respawn and set up on Mega. I think this is crucial. Okay, he cannot drop, I think. cYpheR doesn't know if Sirius has a ray gun or not. Okay, he blocked him long enough. Still Sirius has a time. I think, yeah, he's gonna grab the red and see what he's gonna do. See? Like when you don't have like proper weapons, like this is what happens. Sirius was so much bigger stack than cYpheR, and cYpheR managed to like, you know, get the stacks even, or like he's even on higher stack than Sirius without taking the Mega. That's what will happen basically in that room as I was talking to you before. Okay, if Sirius hits a rail now, okay. Okay, yep, he has to wait for this yellow, and the game is still open. It's 2 to 4. If Sirius doesn't make any damage on this yellow, then cYpheR, well, he doesn't have LG, but he has to try to rush red with rocket, I would say, from bottom. Okay, yeah, he manages to bully him away. I'm not sure about going here. Yeah, that's a bad decision. He's very low on health. If Sirius hits another rail, it's very bad. cYpheR does like similar mistake, like going here. He should just grab the red. Don't gamble on shots with Sirius. He missed. And cYpheR hit. Sirius, on the other hand, has to defend this HP. He knows cYpheR is low. If Sirius is not railable, he has to stick there on top as long as he can and tries to make a, and he has to try to make a damage like on cYpheR trying to exit from here. Yep, and he's doing good job. Okay, I would stick around a little bit more there, but still, it's good job. He hold him there a little bit. He has a position on Mega. cYpheR is afraid to go to Mega, but he has to make some move. It's 2 to 4, so the game is open. And Sirius, okay, I think Sirius didn't have LG, so that's why he went there. But now he kind of giving away opportunity for cYpheR to grab this Mega. He doesn't know that cYpheR is low on LG, so probably he will assume that he has to give away Mega. But it's still fine if he predicts cYpheR well, and he will understand whether cYpheR going for Mega or red, he will be still fine and get eventually the other item. Okay, yep. Good move by cYpheR. Very good move by cYpheR. He predicted it well, and he did damage on Mega. And he opened himself the way to red. So now I think is the time, 1.5 minutes, where Sirius has to be like defensive and careful. And now when you're playing for sound a lot, like you have to understand where your opponent is coming from, and you have to understand timings, because based on timings you understand what your opponent gonna do. Okay, good rush. Unfortunately he didn't hit enough rocket. I really like how cYpheR is playing defensive with rocket. I think if he keeps doing that in his games, it will adapt some spice to his game style. So it's not only rail and LG, but he can also defend himself with rockets. And that's a very powerful weapon in Quake Live compared to Quake Champions. Like playing good with rockets defensively it's like 20% of your combat skills. Even though if your LG and rail is super strong. And he waited out. I don't see him. Yep. He gonna run away now. Yeah, I think that's the game. So, summarizing, I think for the guy who never competed in Quake Live and only playing now competitively, I think he's doing really good. No, let's say it differently. I think he's using his aim to his advantage. We saw those two situations where he turned around the whole game. Like he was outstacked, but because he didn't feed enough and he was keeping the game low, he's okay. So he's giving himself, like, he knows he has more chances than any other guy, because either your opponent does mistake or you do something like fantastic, so you hit a lot of shots. And cYpheR is gonna have few more situations of those hitting fantastic shots per map than any other player. So he knows that eventually, in the time frame of 10 minutes, he will have few opportunities where his aim can shine. He can make a frag like he did on cYpheR, turn the game around, and then when he has control, make some frags. So that's what I really like, because the fundamentals are there. I don't think that the exact timing is there, and I think that should be spot on. But I cannot also tell just by watching this whether it's like pure timing or that was decision making and he didn't want to risk it. Because sometimes you are in this like weird position in your mind, like in this circle, that when you're playing out of control and you got timing and you're like, okay, I'm gonna grab the red, and the player is playing, the player in control is playing super offensive, you might end up like going for those items and just barely losing those fights. So like, let's say after each fight cYpheR will be 10 HP. So what? He's already 6-1, so it doesn't make a sense. So maybe that was the logic behind cYpheR to not really competing for those items, because he knew that it might end up losing frags, and eventually he can like turn around the situation in different way. Yep. It's GG's. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like, what is the potential of cYpheR with a little bit more practice? Can he compete or beat Agent, for example, who is the best player at the moment in Quake Live? And if you want, we can try to find the another game, another map, cYpheR against cYpheR, and try to look for cYpheR's weak spots, try to point them out and what he could do better. We'll see, because like every game is different. Maybe on other maps he will show like signs of some weakness, and we maybe could spot it and try to see what he can improve on. But other than that, I'm extremely surprised at how good cYpheR is adapting to Quake Live, and how good he's using his strengths. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about cYpheR's potential in Quake Live, and in general, let me know your thoughts.